5 miles in. Beautiful sunny morning. Nice and crisp and clear. I think we lucked out weather-wise. It's about 50 degrees at the start. 2%. Alright, about 15 miles in. Starting to get a little bit of the climb going. Not too bad. Just steep enough and just rocky enough to make you hike at a sustainable pace. It's actually pretty cool today still. There's a chilly breeze. I'm sweating, but I'm not feeling overheated. So I think I lucked out weather-wise. So about that, what, 3,200 feet in? So a third of the first segment's climb, and a little under half the distance. So, alright. Whoo-wee! I think we're into the meat and potatoes now. We're a little over 16 miles in, about 4,000 feet of climb. And it's coming faster now, so good thing is it's still pretty cool. It's a nice breeze. I feel like I'm sweating and hydrating exactly the right amount. So, starting to get up into the highlands. Onward and upward. Oh boy. Alright, we're about 22 miles in. Starting to feel a little bit like work. But still feeling good. Got a little bit chilled. Just trying to keep moving. So not at all what I expected based on what everybody said about this section being super hot. I'm sweating, but it's a cold sweat. So I'm at about 6,400 feet of vert right now. So another 3,600 till the Crown King. So 2/3 through the vert on the first section. All right. Looking at about 27 miles in. Still on the Crown King ascent section. I think I'm at just under 8,000 feet of climb. So about 2,000 feet to go. There were some real brutal climbs up and down right before that water stop, mile 25. But since then, it's kind of been a mix of up and then flat like this for a while, and then down and then flat like this for a while. So still moving pretty good. Gut's a little churned up. I think I got a little behind on my hydration and just trying to catch up and putting too much water through. So just making it a little bit of a glug and a slosh. Water station, they didn't have a full liter for everybody, only had half a liter. They said that half the jugs got stolen overnight, so I don't know what to make of that. But there was a creek right at the water station. They said, yeah, you can pull from the creek and filter. So filled up a couple bottles out of the creek and put some chlorine tabs in it. If I end up having to use that water, I'll use the life straw on top of that. Hopefully it won't kill me. A lot of people were kind of upset they'd ran out of water, so I gave away all my extra chlorine tabs to anybody that was nearby. Yeah, just trying to be helpful any way I can. So, next aid station's about 6 miles up ahead, and then it's another 4 or 5 till I get to see the crew at Crown King. I'm looking forward to sitting back, taking my shoes off, having a burger or something, maybe catch a couple of minutes of a nap, and get ready to start the actual race. This is just that 60K, 10,000 foot pre-race, beat you up before the real fun begins. So, all right, here we are. I think we've made it to the pines. Whew. Oh man, I look a lot less shittier than I feel. Anyway, we're at 31.8 and just a lick under 10K for vert. So I think we're done with the quote-unquote hardest 50K in America. The word on the street is about a mile out from the aid station. Admit I was starting to question some life choices about an hour or two ago, and you're getting into that climb, the tail end of it. But then you hit a section like this, and it's easy to just jog along, and you can move. It's a good reminder that I did train for this shit. I am in pretty good shape. So we're gonna get it done. Oh man, about 2 miles out of Lane Mountain and I feel like a new man. Went from that bullshit single track, narrow, rocky climbs to this beautiful, wide, smooth dirt road. Having a nice, easy, gentle downhill into, it's not that gentle, it's a little spicy, but it's a good downhill into Crown King, about 2 miles out. Making good time. I haven't looked at the pace plan, so I could be way off, but whatever. Got through that first section alive. Really feeling strong now. Had some pickle juice with extra salt at the aid station and some super aggressively salty chicken broth. And they had these little, I don't even know what you'd call them, burritos. It was just a tortilla with refried beans on it, but I put away about 5 of those. They were delicious. Stomach's a little turned up right now, but that's okay. This is a nice, easy, smooth section. I made a friend, a guy named Jason. He's a little up ahead. He's from Houston, and he does these 200s, and I guess he's one of the big sponsors for Tejas Trails now. So, good guy to get to know. But, yeah, feeling strong. We're 13 hours in, 35 miles. So, I'm taking a lot of solace in the fact that up ahead are going to take 12 hours. They might feel like they're taking 12 hours, but they will not actually take 12 hours. All right, it's going to be a fun night. Oh man, it got dark, so I forgot to record some videos. Sitting here, almost to mile 58. Left Arastra Creek about 3 miles ago. Doing the big climb up to Camp Kippa. It's a gentle, steady up on this Jeep road for now. Word on the street is it turns to single track pretty soon. Enjoying myself a Dorito Taco Loco they had at the aid station. Camp Kippa is supposed to be a good sleeping spot, so I'm gonna try to catch a nap there. Morning. I am about a mile out of Camp Kippa on the way down to Camp Wambatochik. It is Tuesday morning, about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Made it into Camp Kippa right as the sun was rising, which was a good thing because my headlamp was very dim, and I put the spare batteries in that I brought for it, and they were dead. So, had to get a little creative on the last section. The last couple miles of that climb up to Camp Kippa were pretty unpleasant. It was single track, but just had a lot of loose scree in the footbed, and it was just kind of a continuous up. One of those deals where, you know, every step you take forward, your foot slides back 8 inches as you're trying to kind of scramble up these troughs. But that's over now. Heading down to Camp Wambatochik. The Garmin picked because I've just been letting it run when I stop. So it's showing 66.7 right now, but I think it's closer to about 64. Also, forgot to mention, I did get a little off course coming out of Crown King, linked up with another runner, and we were just chit-chatting, and I kind of in the back of my mind was like, I haven't seen a marker in a while, and I pulled out the GPS, and we'd gone off on a wrong turn for almost half a mile, so had to do some backtracking and found another runner who had done the same thing as we were headed back. So that section wasn't marked too great, but what's an extra mile or two on a 250, right? So had a little nap at Camp Kippa. Basically just walked into the dining hall at this little summer camp and just collapsed onto a mattress and slept for about 45 minutes. Finally caught up to Jada. I heard her chit-chatting and when I was waking up, and I looked over, and she's been hauling ass, but I guess she took a little bit of a longer sleep break there, and we kind of linked up. She was a little more, back to human, and she went ahead and took off. I was there for another 10-15 minutes, just waking up, getting some coffee, and redoing my pack. So she's a few minutes ahead. I'll probably see her at Wamatochik, and definitely probably link up at Whiskey Row. I feel like that's going to be a little bit of a longer stop because that's the next time we can see our cruise. Mom and Dad are picking up an RV, so that'll be interesting to check out. Not sure if I'm going to want to sleep in an RV around noon when I get there, but we'll see. So, onward. Okay, we're at mile 77-ish, I think. It's about 4 or 5 miles out from Whiskey Row and Prescott, going through the system. Nice flowy single track mountain bike path. Seen a few bikers. At this point, my legs are just too dead to really even run anything. So I'm just trying to hike quickly and efficiently and just keep moving forward. So it's starting to get a little tedious, but there's a section coming up pretty soon here that I trained on a few weeks ago. So it'd be nice to get to some familiar trail. And then I'll see the crew at Whiskey Row. They should have the RV. I'm not sure what I'm gonna try to get done at the crew stop. Definitely change socks, let the feet air out a bit. I got a few preliminary blisters, just getting started. I've been keeping them lubed up with Trail Toes, so they haven't really gotten bad. It's just hot spots that I can feel, and I've got another 175 miles of this, so it's all about just managing it. Sun's kind of hot. I definitely got some sunburn. I put on as much sunscreen as I could at the last aid station. I'm gonna have to really focus on staying on top of that for the rest of the week because it's not gonna get any better. All right, it's the Granite Dells, mile 90-ish, 88, something like that. Lucky enough to hit them in the daytime, aka slow. It's really hot and the sun is really bright, and this is turning into a slog, but keep moving forward. What a morning, day 3. Coming down the descent from Mingus Mountain into Jerome. Just notice that you can actually see the aid station at the Jerome Historic Park down there. It's pretty steep, single track, just coming down off this gnarly mountain. That aid station down there is about 15 miles ahead, so there's a lot of zigging and zagging back and forth before we get there. So it's just after 5 a.m., so we're at about 48 and a half hours in, mile 111, I think. So almost to the halfway mark. I guess Jerome is technically the psychological halfway point. So feet are a little beat up. Had to slice open a blister last night and get that drained, but that one's feeling a little bit better. Legs are sore and stiff and tight in every possible muscle and angle, but you know, what are you gonna do? Oh man, here we are back again, climbing up Kasner Canyon. It's a beautiful, what mile are we at, like 170-ish?
Well, we got 78 to the finish per the track. I don't know.
Okay. So yeah, 170. I'll call it 170. So that's what, about 8:30 on Thursday. Beautiful, cool breeze. Sunny, cloudless day.
Little elevation, no big deal.
Yeah. I'm feeling great. Starting to seem like maybe the end was actually in sight. Checking in again. Feel like it's been a few days. Here at mile 230-ish of Cocodona. Just left the Walnut Canyon aid station. Headed up towards Mount Eldon. My voice is all raspy. They've been doing a prescribed burn. And over on the east side of town, it's super smoky. Plus, I've been inhaling this fucking Martian regolith for the last 5 days. I think it's finally catching up to me. Really hit a low in the last couple hours. I think the sleep deprivation is just finally catching up to me. Was able to take 2-hour plus sleep breaks, a couple of 1-hour sleep breaks. And there's only so far that'll take you, even with all the caffeine and chocolate covered espresso beans in the world. So slept for about an hour in the back of the Jeep at the aid station. Feel a little bit revitalized. Hoping I can carry this feeling for the next 8 hours or so. Got about 20 miles left, including the Eldon climb. Good thing is I've seen every inch of trail to the finish once you start the Eldon climb. So hopefully the familiarity will give me a little boost. I'll be able to make it in and get that copper buckle. Trail here is not bad at all. It's a flat, smooth, single track. Wish I could run, but my feet and my knees are just, they're screaming. My knees haven't felt like this since high school. So. Sharing the course right now with the Eldon Crest 38 runners as well, so it's a bit more crowded than it has been in the last few days, which normally I'd be in favor of. Some company. I seem to do well when there's people to chase down. The only thing is these people haven't been running for the last 4 days, so they're harder to catch.
201? Yep. I don't have my numbers up, so I just need to.
201 is Chris Prairie.
Chris Prairie.
Out of Texas.
Guy named Chris Prairie coming out of Texas. That sounds appropriate.
It sure does, and he's moving, Chris.
Yeah, you know what? Does this match you stride for stride when you finish the Cocodona 250? Or
He'd be leaving me in the dust. I think he's trying to make it in time for dinner. Don't blame him.
Well, he definitely is doing so here as he's heading down Cocodona Alley. I was down there a little bit ago, and the energy's just great.
Yeah, so you had mentioned that you've been getting down there each day. What time are you showing up pretty early in the morning when you're down there?
No, what happens is I have my 9-to-5 job that I do have to honor in order to be here, and to that end I usually use it as a buffer between jobs. I get down there and I feel the energy and the flow of what's going on down there, seeing these runners bust their ass and give it all they've got to finish this race, and it leaves me with a good feeling, and also reminds me, even if I'm tired, these people have been working a lot harder than us. So.
Yep, that's good perspective.